What if the deepest truths of our universe, the story of its birth, its structure, its ultimate fate, weren't first discovered by supercomputers and space telescopes? What if they were glimpsed thousands of years ago, not through a lens, but through the mind's eye? This is a journey into one of history's most fascinating intellectual puzzles. We'll explore 4 astonishing parallels between the cosmology of ancient Hinduism and the mind-bending theories of modern science. This isn't a quest to prove ancient sages were scientists. They weren't. Their goal was different, not to predict the cosmos, but to understand our place within it, to find meaning and liberation. Science, on the other hand, seeks to understand the how, the physical mechanisms that govern reality, through observation and rigorous testing. Yet, when we place these 2 grand quests for knowledge side by side, the echoes are undeniable. It's a story that challenges our perception of the past and deepens our awe for the timeless human search for answers. Where did it all come from? Before the stars, before light, before time itself, what was there? The ancient Vedic texts of India wrestled with this question. The famous Nasadiya Sukta describes a state of pure mystery, a time of darkness hidden by darkness, where there was neither not nor ought. From this unmanifested void, a single entity is said to emerge, Hiranyargabha, the golden womb. This self-contained seed held within it the potential for the entire universe. Later texts would call it the Brahmanda, literally Brahma's egg. The concept is profound. Our vast, complex cosmos, with all its worlds and beings, originated from a single unified point, which burst forth through an immense release of energy, a primordial heat the sages called tapas. Now, fast forward thousands of years. Modern cosmology tells a remarkably similar story. According to the Big Bang Theory, about 13.8 billion years ago, everything we can see, every galaxy, star, and planet was compressed into a single point of unimaginable density and heat, a gravitational singularity. This wasn't an explosion in space, it was the expansion of space itself. In the very first fraction of a second, a process called cosmic inflation caused the universe to expand exponentially, from smaller than an atom to larger than a galaxy, almost instantly. As it expanded, it cooled, allowing energy to coalesce into the particles, atoms, and eventually the stars we see today. The parallel is striking. A universe emerging from a singular, potent point, a transition from unity to complexity, sparked by a colossal burst of energy. But here, the paths diverge. The Brahmanda is a metaphysical story about divine intention and purposeful creation. The Big Bang is a mathematical model, an impersonal mechanism supported by decades of evidence, like the faint afterglow of that creation event, the cosmic microwave background. One is a profound philosophical metaphor, the other a predictive scientific theory. In a strange twist of history, the name Big Bang was actually coined as an insult by an astronomer who found the idea of the universe hatching from a cosmic egg to be absurd. Is our world, our universe, the only one? Hindu cosmology answers with a resounding no. It describes a vast, multi-layered cosmos of 14 Lokas, or worlds, 7 higher realms of increasing spiritual purity, and 7 lower realms. Our Earth, Burloka, sits in the middle.
But these aren't just different planets. They are a vertical moral hierarchy, different planes of existence, different states of consciousness. Where you are born is a direct consequence of your karma, the sum of your actions. Good deeds lead to birth in a heavenly loka, like Svarloka, sinful actions to a lower realm. It's a grand cosmic map for the soul's journey, a universe where your reality is perfectly fine-tuned to your moral and spiritual state. In the halls of modern physics, a similar yet starkly different idea is being debated: the multiverse. It's not a single theory, but a set of possibilities that emerge from the equations of cosmology and quantum mechanics. One model, born from inflation theory, suggests our universe is just one bubble in an eternally inflating cosmic foam, with other bubbles constantly forming new universes, perhaps with entirely different laws of physics. Another model proposes that if space is infinite, then our entire observable universe must repeat itself countless times, meaning somewhere out there, infinitely far away, is another you, living a nearly identical life. Again, the parallel is the bold idea that our reality is not unique, but the reasoning is opposite. The Lokas provide a moral answer to the question, why is my existence the way it is? The answer is karma. The multiverse provides a statistical answer to the question, why are the laws of physics in our universe so perfectly suited for life? The answer, with an infinite number of universes, it's inevitable that one like ours would exist by pure chance. One framework is driven by purpose, the other by probability. Is time a straight line, an arrow shot from a beginning to an end? Or is it a circle, an endless rhythm of birth, death, and rebirth? Hindu thought embraces the circle, envisioning time on a scale that humbles the human imagination. The universe, they say, moves through a great cycle of 4 ages, or Yugas, lasting a total of 4.32 million years. It begins with the Satya Yuga, a golden age of truth and perfect harmony. With each subsequent age, dharma, righteousness, virtue, and cosmic order decays. We are now in the final and darkest age, the Kali Yuga, an era of conflict and materialism. At its end, the universe is dissolved in a great pralaya, a cosmic night of rest, before a new golden age dawns. And the cycle begins anew, forever.
For decades, a similar idea captivated scientists, the oscillating universe. This model suggested the Big Bang wasn't a one-time event. Perhaps the universe expands, but if there's enough matter, gravity would eventually halt the expansion and pull everything back together into a cataclysmic big crunch. From that fiery end, a big bounce could trigger a new Big Bang, creating a new universe from the ashes of the old one, an eternal cycle of cosmic death and rebirth. It was an elegant theory, but it appears to be wrong. In the 1990s, observations showed the universe's expansion isn't slowing down. It's accelerating, pushed apart by a mysterious force we call dark energy. The current evidence points not to a fiery big crunch, but a cold, empty big freeze. While the simple oscillating model is now disfavored, the core concept remains. The Yuga cycle is driven by a decay of moral order, a kind of spiritual entropy. The scientific cycle was driven by a cosmic tug-of-war between physical forces. Both envision a cosmos that is not a one-off performance, but an eternal, recurring masterpiece. Let's turn from the infinitely large to the infinitely small. What is the world made of? If you take a piece of matter and divide it again and again, where does it end? Around 2,500 years ago, the Indian philosopher Kannada, using pure logic, reasoned that this process must stop. There must be an ultimate, indivisible particle. He called it the Paramanu. The Paramanu was eternal, indestructible, and had no parts. Different types of Paramanus, earth, water, fire, air, possessed unique qualities. They combined in specific ways to form all the visible objects in the world. It was a complete atomic theory, arrived at not through experiment, but through deduction. In the early 1800s, scientist John Dalton came to an almost identical conclusion through chemical experiments. He called his indivisible particle the atom. For a century, this was our model. But then a series of stunning discoveries shattered it. The atom wasn't indivisible at all. It was made of smaller pieces, electrons, protons, and neutrons. Today's model is stranger than any ancient philosopher could ever have imagined. The atom is almost entirely empty space. An electron isn't a tiny planet in orbit. It's a probabilistic cloud, a wave of potential that is nowhere and everywhere at once. It is a world governed by the bizarre and beautiful laws of quantum mechanics.
This is perhaps the clearest example of the difference in approach. Both traditions began with the idea of a single, indivisible particle. But the Hindu concept of the Paramanu was a static, philosophical conclusion. The scientific model of the atom is dynamic, constantly evolving and being torn down in the face of new experimental evidence. One is a product of pure reason, the other a continuing story written by experiment. So, did ancient Hindu sages know about the Big Bang or quantum physics? In a scientific sense, the answer has to be no. Their ideas were not mathematical models that made testable predictions. Their method was introspection, not experimentation. But to dismiss the echoes as mere coincidence is to miss the point. It reveals that the human mind, whether it's meditating on the nature of consciousness or calculating the curvature of space-time, is drawn to the same magnificent patterns. A singular origin, a plurality of worlds, the rhythm of cycles, and the search for a fundamental unit. In the end, these two great traditions aren't in competition. They are complements, asking two different essential questions about the same majestic reality. Hindu cosmology provides a universe of meaning, a framework to answer the question, why? Why are we here? What is our purpose? Modern science provides a universe of mechanism, a breathtakingly accurate model to answer the question, how? How does it all work? The greatest lesson may be that the cosmos is so profound, so mysterious, and so beautiful that it inspires awe in all its forms, from the poetic metaphors of ancient sages to the elegant equations of modern physicists. Both are testaments to our unending, shared human quest to find our place among the stars.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through cosmos and consciousness. It leaves us with a profound thought to carry forward. What if the language of ancient myth and the language of modern mathematics are simply two different dialects, trying to describe the same, single, magnificent reality? We would love to read your perspective in the comments below. If you found this exploration meaningful, show your support by liking this video and subscribe to Hinduism Unveiled to ensure you don't miss our next chapter. Our quest for knowledge is just beginning.